Hi everyone, it's Bob from Greybeard Models. Welcome back to the channel. Right, so a quick update. There, easy to say. A quick update on the Airfix bus. Um, it's going along quite nicely, and I think without waffling on too much, let's just get over to the bench and I'll show you what we're up to. Right, so unfortunately, had to start off with doing ejector pin marks. Some are three dimensional, like coming out. Others are sunken, and there's quite a few sunken ones. So I've been going around preparing parts, getting all of that done, which is fine. Right, so the first thing I did after filling all the ejector pin marks was to actually tape the parts together. The reason that I've done this, well, twofold really. It's dry fitting, and the other thing is, as you read through the instructions, because the diagram doesn't actually give you a good layout of where parts go, etc. So having read through the instructions, it's a test fit to sort of get to understand what the instructions are saying. So I now know that that's where those parts go, and there's the sort of the problem that you have is that it doesn't really tell you. Where's my pointy thing? It doesn't tell you about, or clearly tell you about these ribs, these mounting ribs on the insides, and where that goes. It doesn't clearly tell you that. So having sort of got this together and taped up like this using some cheap masking tape, you know, got the ends together and all of that. I mean, the way it goes through the instructions is before you put this on, you've got to put the you've got to put the 4 bench seats in. They go, if I can get these to sit where they're supposed to go, so they go in there like that. Okay, so the 4 bench seats go in there along these parts, and then they fit quite neatly in there like that, and then the other 2 on this side. The next thing it says, once you've got these in place and before you've got this end piece in place, is to put the female passenger in there with the conductor. So that obviously, before you could do that, you've got to get the female passenger painted, the conductor painted, etc, etc, etc. So, you know, and things like the seats have got to be painted. So I think the next thing that I'm going to do, because I'm pretty sure that's what that is to start laying out some of these pieces to paint. One of the things that I may not have mentioned before, I mean, this is great instructions, but the colour call outs are here on the back. And yes, the capsule is of adhesive, and it says, you know, be careful not to squeeze it, because if you get it in your eyes, it can, you know, all that sort of thing. But it just gives you a colour call out of 8 colours: red, white, brown, black, matte black, silver, gold and dark grey. Dark grey is for the inside upholstery, so that's these bench seats, and brown is upper deck seats and the upper deck and stuff like that. So I think what I can do is I can get these bench seats inside upholstery done, start getting the parts laid out, because obviously the other thing is you can't really put this together until the inside's painted and the glazing's in place. and you can't put the glazing in place and the inside painted until you've done the outside painting. So these parts are going to have to be painted before we start assembling. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Right, so I've got a fair few bits of stuff painted. The rear seats that are inside the downstairs compartment on the bus, I've got those painted grey, which is the colour that they say in the list. The frames for the seats are all painted brown, and for the upstairs seats are all painted brown, so they're all done. They'll go together nicely. I've done the top halves of this white and the inside white. I've just noticed that having done all of this underside, which is fine, just need to trim that off and trim off and make sure that that's available to glue. The inside here, according to, so that's the driver's cab. So driver's floor black, top and bottom of driver's cab black, the driver's side, so that would be the inside, which is forward of this part here, and same forward of that part there. I think, looking at the artwork on the box, see the artwork of the box, this looks brown to me, which I don't know, and it says things here along here about being, I don't know. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably paint the inside of that, because if the inside of the driver's bit, which is that's supposed to be black, so I need to mask that off and make that black, and the top, the top of the conductor's roof, which is that side, is black, and the underside of conductor's roof, which is there, that's white. So it's difficult because you're working off of like an instruction sheet there. So that's the inside of the sort of behind the driver. Now I painted the inside of the cabin. That's white according to the instructions. So where the inside of the floor is black, that is white. Or is it there? No, it's got to be there. So that goes like that. Just like that. So then the driver's side, which is that side, it says, where is it? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether to go by the artwork or the instructions. All a bit vague. I have it in my mind to go to the Transport Museum, because I think this vehicle is actually up in Covent Garden in the London Transport Museum there. This is the inside of the rear, so that's that section there, and that's white. So what I'll need to do, I think, is mask off the insides of there and make those white, and then this side I think is red outside, or if it or it's white this side. Sorry, it's white that top side up to that line, and then below it it's red. Don't know. So anyway, I've got to work that out by the instructions and the pictures the picture I have there. I mean, whatever happens, I think to be honest, I think that's red, and the reason that I think that bottom of that's red is because it lines up with the side panel there, and if the side panel here is red, it makes sense that's red, I think. Anyway, got to work on the sink marks on there. That I did that one there, but it's still a mark there, so you need to sand that down, get that all smooth, and then I can look at that. That's those. Right, let's have a look at the figures. Right, so the figures. Well, I've done the lady. She come out reasonably well, but the features in the faces are really soft, and it's very difficult to get any real definition. But I've done this chap, put his face on, a little bit of a beard going on there. Still got work to do on these figures. Go back in there for a minute. Right, the other figure, this chap here, again, done the face, but the definition on the faces is really poor. And the conductor, I've done him, and just basically put a base coat on hands and face. And the driver, I've done a base coat on his face, and I've swapped out both hands. So both hands now are from the Airfix 1/32 multi-pose figures. So one of my multi-pose figures won't have any hands. And giving him a better hand here, which I think is sort of holding the steering wheel, and this one here where he's got his hand out indicating, or whatever. But yeah, so, but there's no colour schemes for any of these figures, so the only colour scheme that I do have is for the driver, which is the artwork here, which sort of shows him in sort of a brown khaki type coat, and that's it really, black hat. So I sort of half remembered that, like, bus drivers back in the days used to have white coats, or am I thinking milkmen? I don't know, can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to do some research on the figures and what they should be wearing, and a bit more painting on the bodywork. Got to get the lady painted and the conductor painted before we can even start constructing, really. So I might go through some more parts and get those painted and primed and whatnot. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'm sorry it's a bit of a waffle like this one, and there's not a great deal of progress, but hopefully that's useful to you if you're out there building this. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.